is going to talk to you for a minute.
Woo! All right, Sara! Woo!
Hi everyone, I haven't been around that long, but my name is Sara Cooley and I'm with Radical Women. And this is actually my first rally speech, so it's really great to be here with all of you today on this 40th anniversary of Pride. I am a queer female college student and an activist, and I'm really happy to be here tonight. We queer women have rallied, sat in, lobbied, and marched, and the improvements that have been made are because we in the queer community have made it happen. We've made great gains, but unfortunately, there's still a lot of work to do. For instance, did y'all hear that President Obama will be sending more military forces to Iraq? Since the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell and the more recent repeal of the ban on women in combat zones, it's likely that there will be lesbians and queer women in those forces. Is a tighter reign on Iraqi oil worth risking the lives and well-beings of our sisters? I say no! But the U.S. economy that is dependent on the war machine would tell you yes. The U.S. military is hardly a welcoming place for queer women. Yes, DOMA has been overturned, but lesbians are still being denied benefits in the military if they live in a state that does not uphold their marriage. Trans women are not even allowed to serve in the first place, and women in the U.S. military are more likely to be assaulted by their brothers in arms than killed by an enemy in combat. Women, soldiers, and civilians are fighting back.
Woo!
Heroic whistleblower Private Chelsea Manning is currently facing 35 years in prison for revealing secrets about the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now she's being denied hormone treatment and forced to stay in a men's prison. As a trans woman, she should not even be in a military prison in the first place, but as a soldier, she can't leave. Radical Women has been working with groups like the Chelsea Manning Support Network and Veterans for Peace to urge President Obama to pardon Chelsea for her actions, but there is still much work to be done if we want to see systematic changes.
Go Chelsea!
Chelsea Manning is not the only woman making headlines for her unjust imprisonment. Radical Women is rallying behind Nestora Salgado, a strong feminist who is encouraging indigenous people and women to defend themselves. She's currently being held in a high-security prison in Mexico. This woman needs our support to come home. The local committee is organizing on International Day of Action on August 21st. Come to the Radical Women table just over there to get more information about that. There you can also find information about Marissa Alexander, who was arrested for defending herself from her abuser. Thanks to efforts from Free Marissa Now, of which Radical Women is a part, she's in home detention and awaiting a new trial. It's heartening to see that activists can bring about change like this, but I have to say, letting women and indigenous people defend themselves should not even be up for debate.
That's right!
The same sexist and racist systems impact domestic violence among queer women too. The same goes for sexual assault. We've all heard variations on the statistics, and the most recent point to 1 in 6 women that will experience sexual violence in her lifetime. This disproportionately affects lesbians, queer women, and especially trans women. What the hell are we supposed to do about this?
Fight back! Fight back!
I am personally committed to raising awareness of sexual assault, and I have viewed the recent media storm around sexual assault in campuses with mixed emotions. Mainstream politicians have had the same arguments for decades, while women continue to suffer. I know that many of you are involved in social justice and know what I'm talking about. We have a legal system that is reactive, not proactive, and it fails to address the root of the problem, while simultaneously perpetuating the U.S. prison industrial complex that keeps record numbers of women of color, queer women, and trans women behind bars. The system might just react to the injustices happening around us, but we need to support each other and stop the violence against our sisters.
That's right! Woo!
The only way to do that is to dismantle the systems that promote this violence as normative. Overthrowing a culture of violence against women starts with combating a capitalist economy that views our bodies as commodities, our identities as invalid, and our relationships as counterproductive to the ideal heteropatriarchal nuclear family.
That's right! Woo!
There are activists who are working towards these goals right now. As a leading voice of revolutionary socialist feminism, Radical Women works on the ground to fight social oppressions facing women today. And we need people like all of you committed to fighting injustice to join us. If you want to know more, check out the Freedom Socialist Press at our table, where we talk about queer issues from a socialist feminist perspective. The fire of the queer rights movement was fueled by our sisters and brothers in women's liberation and the civil rights movement. But just as sexism and racism still prevail today, we Dykes need to keep tending that fire amongst ourselves. As the next generation of movers and shakers, let's seize the opportunities given to us. The current patriarchal, profit-driven system won't meet all our needs. I say enough.
That's
We
right.
can use these turbulent times as a springboard for launching a better society, one based on the distribution of wealth that we create with our own labor. This is the vision of a socialist society. We can make it happen together. Thank you all for being here, and happy Pride.